Yo, today I'm back with the long-promised dog tutorial. The format is a bit different to my usual on-stream recorded one-takes. Just let me know what you think about it. We're mostly going to talk about what each dog does and how to best deal with them. In a nice way, obviously, like sending them to a big farm. Please let me know if there's anything else you want to see a tutorial about, and otherwise make sure to check out my Twitch where I'm streaming daily. You'll find the link in the description. Alright, I went into this end quickly to show you guys something. So for every dog, I will be talking about the weak point and the weak spot. The weak point on the sniper dog will be this red part. Every dog has a weak point, but not every dog has a weak spot. What the weak point does on the sniper dog is it will quickly EMP him and put him down for a second. And the weak spot would be his ass, basically right here. And after the sniper dog dies, he will EMP the whole room. Alright, we're still here in this end, and we got the minigun dog, or how I usually call him, mini dog. He has no weak spot, so where we do direct damage, the only option we have is he has these red joints as weak points. And if we hit that, he's gonna go to his knees and basically lay down for a second. And that's pretty much it. If the minigun dog or the mini dog dies, he will explode and apply bleed in a very small radius. Alright, brought you over here to Camp White Oak to show you the grenade dog. So everything that's red here, as well as on the back and yeah, back in here, the red bars, those are weak points, and the weak spot is basically this plate here. If we hit this, we're gonna do direct health damage. What happens if we kill him? He's gonna shock everything in a bigger radius than minigun dog, but smaller radius than sniper dog. Alright, we are back at White Oak, and I want to show you the leg damage. So if we shoot the leg, it's 8k non-crit, like we can see here, and 98 crit. If we put on, I have a weird build on, I'm just gonna put on a Hollow Man to show it does more, pretty much 10%. Because of the health damage we have. So what that means for us is if we shoot the legs, a crit will always be pretty much on point, where a non-crit will be a lot less. It's around 10%-ish. I'll put up the numbers on screen. Alright, same weird build, sniper dog. We see still the same numbers on the legs, but if we shoot the weak spot, he stops moving. I guess he just doesn't care about my jam. But basically, if the weak spot matches up with the number we get on the cracked minigun dog. Alright, so if we shoot the body here, you see my normal numbers. And even if we crack him at some point, it's still gonna be the same numbers. Alright, I'm just quickly throwing this in to hopefully better explain how leg and body damage differentiates. The build I was referring to as something weird was just something I put on that doesn't stack at all, like Striker or Obliterate or whatever, just to have consistent damage numbers and better show it. So if we go to, this is our leg damage and this is our body damage. So if we go to our body damage, the non-crit is 88.8k pretty much. And 10% of this body non-crit will be our leg non-crit. So the 8.8k, like you see here. It's a little bit different because of how the game is rounding, which you will see on the later example as well. But that's pretty much how it works. So if we non-crit on legs, it's always going to be 10% of our normal damage non-crit. For the crits, it works a bit different. Basically, if we take our crit here on body, so the 178, and we subtract the 88,000, we pretty much end up with around 89,000 crit. And then if we just take that 89,000 and add it on top of the 8.8, so our 10%, that pretty much ends up being this number. So what that means in the end is the leg damage non-crit is just 10% of your body non-crit, and the leg damage crit is the difference between crit and non-crit on body plus those 10%. Alright, I just quickly want to show something. So if we go over here, we're on title right now, but it doesn't really matter where. If we have that dog there and we sticky EMP him with a double tap or instant use, it works the same. You see he's EMP'd without me triggering anything else, really. And if it runs out, they will just go back to normal. And if we don't double tap, so if we just pull out the sticky, we can see a dog right now, and we just shoot it, that will trigger it.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
So you definitely need to double tap or instant use. Coming to a conclusion, I just want to quickly summarize what we talked about and what I would do depending on various situations. Dogs, just like Chungas, don't have armor, they have armor plating. That does mean they don't take increased damage from damage to armor, unlike, for example, contractors. They do take more damage from health stats, just like on AR or from the named mask Hollow Man. If we shoot the body, we get the full damage, however we have to break that part of armor plating before we can deal actual damage to the health value. We shoot the weak spot, we deal full and direct damage to the health. And if we shoot legs, we get a very hard reduced damage on non-crits and still reduced on crits. However, it is direct to health as well. On difficulty heroic or lower, I probably wouldn't bother with shooting legs since it's a harder to hit target and the health value is just a lot lower than on legendary, so breaking is super quick anyway. If you can see the weak spot, that's still the best option. In general, if you run a full red build or anything that has a low amount of skill tiers, honestly, I wouldn't bother with a Gemma Pulse, I would just run Sticky EMP. The duration is a lot longer, and if you get used to double tapping or instant use, it will just make it a lot easier. For Legendary, I personally always try to shoot the legs, and if I can, the weak spot. Especially if it's an elite dog, the breaking of the armor plating just takes very long. However, if you can't see the legs or weak spot, like it's mostly the case with sniper dogs when he's behind a small cover or something like that, breaking will be fine, and it's not like you have a choice anyway in some situations. But like everything, that really depends on you, your build, and your playstyle, so after a while, you'll find out what works best for you. Remember, if you play Headhunter and you have stacks, to shoot the leg or weak spot, otherwise you will just break the armor, but not one shot, and you will be standing there without anything. I hope the video helped you guys out and you learned something new today, and catch you guys laters.